What's your long-range plan? Is this going to be a job that you want to do for the rest of your life, driving for Uber or Lyft? Or is this just a passing through gig, something you're doing for now to earn a little extra income while you're going to school maybe? Or, as I used to do on my days off from work, on my regular job, it was my part-time job driving for Uber and Lyft. What are you going to do? Is this going to be a full-time job for you? Hi. So I've been a gig worker for over 3 years now. I started with Lyft and Uber, and then I migrated over to DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. I've pretty much done it all. I did Postmates, and Uber purchased Postmates, so there's no more Postmates. It's just Uber Eats. So that's what I do for a living now that I'm retired. I get a pension, I get Social Security, and I have an income with Uber and Lyft mainly. On the side, sometimes I will do Grubhub and Uber Eats, but usually I'm just doing Uber passengers and Lyft passengers. So how are you doing? What's happening in your life? You can write about it in the comments below. Is this working out for you? Is it something which is actually working for you? Are you happy doing it? For me, retired, I am fortunate that here in America, I have health coverage because of my previous full-time employment. So my wife and I are both covered with health insurance. And this is what I do to augment my retirement income. And it helps considerably. But what are you going to do? What's your long-range plan? Is this going to be a job that you want to do for the rest of your life, driving for Uber or Lyft? Or is this just a passing through gig, something you're doing for now to earn a little extra income while you're going to school maybe? Or, as I used to do on my days off from work, on my regular job, it was my part-time job driving for Uber and Lyft. What are you going to do? Is this going to be a full-time job for you? It is for me now. I'm done with working for other people. And I do enjoy it because I have the feeling like I'm helping people out. I'm giving people rides, and I'm making a little money on the side too. So it's a job. Driving for Uber or Lyft, or doing Grubhub or DoorDash. And for most people, this is not something they're going to do for their whole life. Although there are people that really do support their family and do this long term. But for me, driving for Uber and Lyft gave me a way out. I was 67 years old and I wanted to retire, and it gave me a way out. I do get a pension and I do get Social Security, but this driving for Uber and Lyft, which I was already doing part-time, provided me the means to guarantee that I had good income for retiring. So what are you going to do? Is that your plan, to drive for Uber and Lyft? The problem with driving for Uber and Lyft is that there is no retirement plan. There's no pension. There's not even health insurance. This is a problem for some people. I think Lyft promotes this thing called Stride, which is some kind of a health plan. But I've never really experimented with that or looked into it because I'm already set. I do have fairly good health insurance, and at my age, I also have, Medicare. So I'm really taken care of. When I go to a doctor, I don't have to pay anything because of Medicare and my pension plan and my insurance. I'm fully covered. And that's the way to be. But it's not for everybody, because in the future, if you're young, you will need health insurance. You are going to need to provide for your wife and family and your children, your significant other. And how are you going to do that just driving for Uber and Lyft. So if you're driving for Uber Lyft, what do you do about health insurance? It's windy. Somehow or other, I'm not surprised to see wind in Amarillo. It's the windy city. Windier here in Amarillo, Texas than it is in Chicago. I don't make a lot of money driving for Uber or Lyft. I have to be honest with you. I do all right, and I don't spend a lot of hours out here if I don't have to. Now, today is an example. I did all right earlier this morning, but now it's about midday. It's a Tuesday, and there's absolutely nothing happening. I'm not getting any rides because it's a small city of Amarillo, and right now nobody seems to need a ride, or I'm not in a very good hot spot. This is the railroad here. Railroad made Amarillo, Texas. Then they did have an Air Force base here back in the 60s, but the Air Force base was closed and it almost killed Amarillo. All of the servicemen left and their families left, and businesses closed and got boarded up. Even when I moved here almost 20 years ago, a lot of downtown was boarded up. But Amarillo is recovering, and they have been building houses like anything. Now we have a Coca-Cola distribution center here. We're just completing an Amazon distribution center. Trucking industry is very big here. The railroad is still a big employer here. We have 9 hospitals, including the VA hospital and 2 very large private hospitals. So this is what I do. I do passengers for Uber and Lyft. I deliver food with Uber Eats and Grubhub. I don't do DoorDash anymore, but I used to. I also used to do Postmates, but that's now Uber Eats. I've tried to make interesting videos and entertain you, and I do have some very funny videos, and I have some very informative videos. But it's an oversaturated market. Do you realize how many Uber and Lyft drivers have got YouTube channels? A lot. But that's not my only interest. I also have interests in the field of science and technology. And maybe I need to get into TikTok, because is YouTube really going to be the future, or is TikTok going to be the future? Some of my videos have been viewed by hundreds of people, and some by a couple dozen. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you can be notified every time I make a new video. Clicking like doesn't hurt either. That helps out the channel.